Hello everyone and welcome to another traditional draft of Brothers War. No arena open anymore, so let's just stick to the regular stuff. Now this pack has basically two first pickable cards. Well, yeah, maybe I wouldn't be happy to first pick anything else than an Excavation Explosion and a Ocean Tactician. Now this will be the better card in the deck where it shines, but this is very flexible, red is a strong color. And this basically locks you into these two colors. Well, it doesn't lock you, but it's not a useful card if you are not blue-white. So I could see like white-red, and then splash maybe this because red has some soldiers too, but I feel like I just take the explosion here. It's just too nice to kill something and get a Powerstone token. It's amazing, and it even targets players when 3 damage is all you need, so I'm gonna pick the explosion. It's easy. First pick there, and there's an Ursa, there's a Disfigure. This thing can be good. I think early enough you may be able to draft around it a little bit, so focus more on artifacts, both because you can pay for them with the Power Stones and you can discard them. Of course you don't really want to discard spells for your looters that often, but you know, it's nice when you really need the Power Stone token to have the option to do that. So you could take the Disfigure. I think it's between these two, they are the best cards in the pack. I took a removal spell, maybe I'll take the Ursa now. Let's see. And there's another Ursa, and there is not much else going on here, I guess. There is like an Unleash Shell, but I don't think I'm gonna take the 5 mana removal, pick 3 here, because you don't really want to play that many 5 mana cards, and this is not that much better than some other options that you would really prefer to have this specific one. So I'm gonna take another Ursa. They are legendary, but usually also it's a card that each removal. And what is this? A pick 4 Excavation Explosion. By the way, my previous draft was also blue-red. Yeah, the second draft of the Arena Open Day 2, but well, hopefully, well, that was that was a quick one, so maybe you don't get bored if I draft the same kind of an archetype here now. But of course, the only reasonable pick here is this best card in the pack that shares also a color with my previous picks. Now here, Stern Lesson and Evolving Wilds are the things I consider. I really like to have the Evolving Wilds in all decks. It does fix your mana nicely, but Stern Lesson can also be interesting. It actually would be like 5 cards that can at least create a Power Stone. Of course, the Explosions and the Stern Lesson always do. So maybe I can do some crazy artifact stuff if I get the expensive things. And here I actually wouldn't mind a Coastal Bulwark. I don't think it's a Blast Runner deck. It has to be most likely a black-red deck. But Coastal Bulwark would be fine defensive play and also something to discard to Ursa. But there is the Forge Chanter, which I like quite a bit as well. It's either of those two. I guess you can get these bulwarks quite late usually, so I'm gonna take the Forge Chanter. I have a bunch of prowess triggers already for it. And here we have there's like a Scatter Ray and a Mistras Onslaught. But I was trying to get those artifacts. I mean, stuff that I can cast with by using the Powerstone tokens. But there's like a Tokazi's Onulet isn't exactly what you're looking for here. I don't know. Let's take the Scatter Ray, I suppose. And another Forge Chanter. Actually, supply drop isn't bad when you have the way to cast it with Power Stones. It's quite nice in that case. There is also the Latnam Adept, which is good because I have a Stern Lesson and 2 Ursas, so getting the counters wouldn't be that hard. I think I still prefer the 2-drop here. I quite like this card, so I'm gonna take it. But I might play on Latnam Adept. Those usually get passed quite late, so I can maybe pick one later in the draft. Okay, there's another Scatter Ray. There is also a Stone Retrieval unit and another Coastal Bulwark. I'm not taking another Scatter Ray. I'm interested in the unit though. I might actually want to do the, kind of a Powerstone deck if I just find some of that expensive artifacts, because I have a lot of Powerstone generating here. I also want to pick artifacts for the Ursas, but I think I'm going to choose the unit this time. I will play maybe the Coastal Bulwark if I get those still a little bit later. Here there is a Coilous Rock which can't be cast with Power Stones, but will generate one more. The Forge Chanter is actually interesting with the Whirling Strike. I'm not quite sure which I'm gonna prefer here. I kind of want my expensive cards to be artifacts, so this thing actually requires 5 lands. Um, Still don't think the Whirling Strike is that interesting. I think I'll take it still because of the 2 prowess, 2 drops. It's quite nice actually. But it also is a card I can easily cut from the deck. I'm also not convinced I'm necessarily gonna include the Scatter Ray, but we'll see. All of this shall be in the deck now, and I will start cutting cards maybe a little later. This is basically requires green. That's a sideboard card. This is not a deck where I'm gonna sacrifice a lot of stuff. I'm gonna take the sideboard rebuff now. Curate, rebuff, very too slow of a tomo, but it's actually not so slow when you have a lot of Power Stones, which I might have. But thing is, I don't really need another looter when I have 2 Ursas here, so I'm just taking the Curate here. Okay, Bitter Reunion. I don't really think I'll ever need it. I'm actually taking the uncommon just for vault value because I don't plan on playing the Reunion here. Don't like the dig side either. It's too much mana. I mean, it's too much of a strain to your mana base because this doesn't add any colored mana. Alright, so this pack of course has a couple of very nice options, and this is a deck which easily can play the Boulder Branch Golem because I have already a bunch of ways to create Powerstone tokens, and I can always ditch it on the Ursa if I really don't get to 7 mana. But this pack also has Giant Cindermore and Wing Commander, which not a Cindermore, maybe not like a very on theme card, but it's just such a nice amount of stats for 3 mana. I don't care about unable to gain life because I don't have any ways to gain life with this color combination, unless I get the Boulder Branch Golem, I guess. I think I'm gonna go for the raw stats, but I could have taken the Boulder Branch Golem there for sure. And how about this pack? Well, it has a very nice Obstinate Bailout for someone. I think I might take the Thopter here, mostly because I assume I get to cast it with the Power Stones, plus I also want to have some artifacts so that I can actually use my Power Stones and maybe get some Power Stones with the Ursas if I want to. So I'm gonna take it. It has Unearth, so ditching it is gonna give me also a Power Stone, plus I can still use it from the graveyard. Alright, so there's another Dwarven Forge Chanter, which I wouldn't mind, but I guess I have a lot of 3s, but I mean the Wing Commando is still good. How many non-creatures I have? Half the deck is non-creatures. It's going to be the Wing Commando or another Forge Chanter, but I believe I take the Flyer now. But I think this is quite a lot of 3-drops. I don't kinda need them anymore. Okay, what does this pack have for me? Well, not a lot. Not a lot at all. I don't think the Revoker is that good. Actually, the Avenger might be the kind of expensive artifact I'm playing. Yeah, I like this when I have a lot of Power Stones, so I don't actually have to pay 6 mana for it. The Vigilance and Death Touch... I'm sorry, Flying and Vigilance... No, Flying and Death Touch are the most relevant modes, but of course Haste is nice. And Vigilance sometimes is exactly what you want to have, so I'm gonna take the Avengers just to have some payoff from all of those Power Stones. Scrap Trawler, return to your hand. Yeah, I don't have cheap artifacts. This actually doesn't do much. I mean, it does something if this is on the battlefield while something like Argivian Avenger dies, but let's see what else does the pack have. Okay, not that great. I guess I could take an Unleash Shell, There is on Latinum Adepto. Maybe I take one. I have a Curate also. I don't know. I think I'll take the removal now. And then give me something good. I guess the Exemplar could be a 6/6 with the Powerstones I have. Maybe this is not an involuntary cooldown deck. I like this a little bit more in blue-white, maybe, when you can try to be the aggressor. I'll take this because it's not the end of the world if this is a 4/4 trample, but with a lot of Powerstones you can maybe get it into a 6/6. Because I believe this deck will have a pretty even split of islands and mountains, so it's very hard to get to cast with with using just like 5 same kind of basic lands. Now this pack, not so great. I'm not going to do this thing. This is a 6-mana 5/4 death touch. I don't have the ability to cast it as a 2-drop. I guess I'll still take it, or if I take the Amulet, I'm gonna take it, but I'm not gonna be that happy about it. I actually put it to the sideboard for now. And then here we have, well, a way to benefit from Powerstones, I guess. Although I haven't gotten any new Powerstone cards here, I'm still not taking this thing. So I'll take this, and maybe I get some more Powerstones later on. Animation might be okay in this deck, because it can animate the Powerstones, of course. But I could just take the Race to the ground. I'm gonna take one of these. Well, I guess I'll take the cheap card. I might need some 2-drops here. Not the greatest 2-drop though. Pyrrhic Blast. Okay. Unlikely to see play in this deck. I don't have that high power creatures. I'm gonna take the Onulet, but it also goes to sideboard. I really would want to be able to use the Unearth for that. I don't care about this stuff. I have a 3-drops more than enough, so I'll take the Mind Worker. At least it is an artifact that I might be. Well, I'm not sure. It's not really that good of a card, but I guess it gains you 1 life per turn. And here I get the Latinum Adept. I actually might play a Swift Gear Drake also with this deck, but I take 1 Adept now that I have that repeatable card draw. So it might pick up some easy counters. And how many rebuffs do I want to have? Not more than 1. I'm not gonna sideboard more than 1. I guess I'll take the Firebomb as a sideboard card, which I, always say when I pick it that it's for sideboard, and I never sideboard it in. But I mean, it's more likely that I sideboard it in than I need 2 of these rebuffs. Okay, now this is interesting back. There is a 3rd Urza, but it is, a cost that it is legendary. I don't think I want to play a 3rd Urza here, but I will play the Demolisher. It's something expensive now to cast. This is, by the way, an insane card, but I'm not gonna splash for white here at this stage in the draft. It's something I can just cast with my Powerstones if I, maybe get a few more ways to produce them. And I can also ditch this to my looters, which I have 2 here now. So let's take it. Obliterating Bolt. Is there any question about the pick? There shouldn't be, because it's such an amazing value. I wouldn't mind the Automaton here. I wouldn't actually mind having another way to create a Powerstone, but yeah, this is also a strong bull, which is good, but maybe I'm a little bit light on the artifacts. But anyway, no matter what, the Bolt is the pick. And Stone Retrieval Unit number 2. I mean, it does create me a stone. Yeah. I don't need a 3-drop here. How many 4-drops do I have? And I'm not gonna play the Onslaught most likely, so I can take another of these Retrieval Units. I don't have maybe quite enough. Well, I have some heavy hitters here. I don't care about the Blitz Automaton that much, especially because the 3-drop isn't that relevant now that I have so many other 3-drops. I'm gonna take the unit here. Okay, there is a good 2-drop and another good 2-drop, but this is better. I don't believe I have many soldiers. I might have a few, like 2. The Rock Hunter is one, and I got no idea who's the second one. Didn't actually matter really. But who is a soldier? Yeah, this Wing Commando. Anyway, I'm gonna take the 2-mana flyer with flash. Thank you very much. Alright, so cohort, I would like it more if I actually had the way to unearth it. I'm gonna just take a wing commando. I said I have a lot of 3-drops, but I mean, I'm not taking a mine worker either. I'm not gonna take a rust Goliath. 10 mana is still a little bit too expensive. I'll take the commando and see if I'm gonna cut some of the 3-drops. No Powerstones. There is a Defabricate, which is a okay sideboard card. There's also the supply drop, which I talked about earlier. I guess I'm gonna take one supply drop. It is nice when it is gonna be cheaper when you have Powerstones. So let's do it. Also something to ditch to Urza. There's also Mishra. Should the brothers be in the same deck? Well, I guess I'm in the correct colors based on this pack. There's nothing too strong though. The Mishra isn't actually that great. 3 mana 2/1 is not so great indeed. So Swift Gear Drake, Unleash Shell. I guess I'm thinking about between these 5 mana cards. I can take the Drake. It's kind of fun to try it. Reunion. Yeah, there's a lot of this splitting the Powerstone, but it is not worth a card to do this thing. Soul Guide Lantern, a little bit of artifact graveyard hate. I mean, please automaton. I think I'm gonna take the grave hate. I don't necessarily need the automaton here. 6/4 for 7 isn't even that exciting. Here it doesn't matter. I take the wings for the sideboard. There's still an epic confrontation and a shoot down. So green was open here. I'm not gonna main deck the wings. It's gonna be a sideboard card, I believe. A lot of cuts to make here, by the way. We'll see then. Anything worth considering? I have one Onulet here already. I'm never playing the Chain Dancer in this deck. I don't need it. Not gonna play the first Onslaught. I just take the card up the way. I won't be playing any of that. I can play another Race to the Ground, but I think one in the main deck, one in the sideboard is a good mix. And okay, Forge Chanter. I don't need a third one, but I'm happy to play a third Forge Chanter here. And then I'm not gonna play the soldiers here. I'm gonna take the Defabricate for sideboard. And I guess this wraps the draft. Okay, I'm not gonna play this. I put it away. Alright, bunch of cuts. So let's see the Powerstone business first. Yeah, in the end, that is. I started the draft with Ursa, lesson, a couple of explosions or something like that, or one explosion, but I really didn't get. Well, I don't know. There are not that many cards in the end that create them, but this is not like that many in the end. But I suppose I'm still playing the 7-drop and 6-drop, and maybe not playing the Drake though. Okay, what happened? Like that. Yeah, not playing this 3 mana sorcery. If you had a legendary artifacts, yeah, then that might be a thing. Alright, Whirling Strike is probably unneeded. Do I need? I don't need the Scatter Ray. I don't need the Rock Hunter, I guess. No, it's not good. I would have 5 2-mana creatures and then the Obliterating Bolt. I like the strike with these 5 prowess creatures here. I don't know if I want to main deck the Savant though. I probably don't. If the matchup really seems like the one where I actually can start drawing 2 cards, yeah, maybe then. Do I have space for the main deck Race to the Ground? I might not have space. I'm gonna cut it. And then there's the Mistress Onslaught, which I don't need, and maybe the Swift Gear Drake. I will sideboard it in if the 2/4 flying thing is relevant, or I want to have some graveyard hate. So that would be those cuts there. I like the Lantern, but it is a little bit of filler. I'm gonna cut it. Supply drop. I don't want to cut, but how many artifacts? That's only 8, by the way. I mean, the Whirling Strike. The curate is here also to trigger the prowess and also to have another way to add a counter to this thing. I don't have that many draw abilities in addition to that. I have the 2 looters, I have a stern lesson, and I have the curate. That's 4, and then maybe sometimes I will sacrifice this to draw a card. That's not like too much, but you have to also respect the combination here. This is a repeatable draw, so if you get to these things to stick on the battlefield, this will always grow. So that is something. I think it is a 17 land deck. Yeah, it certainly is, because when you have looters, you have less risk of flooding out, and I can also discard to a stern lesson. So the mine worker is maybe still a 2-drop I wanna play. I'm thinking about the whirling strike. It seems like it's the next on line to be cut. How many non-creatures? That is only 8 though. I really want to have these prowess creatures be able to do something. Get a a boost here and there. I just don't think I wanna cut these expensive stuff either, so it is really tough. Maybe the mine worker, I'm gonna drop my amount of artifacts to even fewer than that, but I guess it's fine. I'm gonna cut it from the main deck. I don't have a lot of early action here, only 4 creatures, and then the obliterating bolt for turn 2, which I usually even don't want to use on their cheap stuff, but it is what it is. Well, I mean, this is it now. I could play 16 lands, or I can cut the whirling strike, but I really don't want to. That's too many prowess creatures to benefit from it. I want to keep my 8 non-lands. So maybe it's 16 lands, because looters can also, get you mana by, drawing more cards and discarding non-lands. Plus, if I discard some artifacts, I get Powerstone tokens. I have only 1 4-mana card that can't be cast with Powerstones, only 1 5-mana card. So that is actually most of the spells in my deck. I can cast with 3 basic lands, or then I might have Powerstone tokens, and all my 3-mana cards. Well, a lot of, not all because I have these things, but a lot of my 3-mana cards can also create me Powerstones. So I think in the end I will play 16 lands, because I don't really feel like cutting the next cut, which I believe would be the whirling strike. So I'm gonna do it like this, and it's probably an 8/8 mana base. I got both blue and red. I need early access to both. I have 1 double red card, but it is a 5-mana card, and I get to fix my draws a little bit before that happens. So let's do it. Let's use this land, and let's use this one. That's the main deck. Okay, that is fine. I lack a 2-mana play, but I don't have actually that many of them. 4 creatures and the 1 spell. I don't necessarily want to obliterating bolt anything. I mean, all the possible 2-drops they might have. I would bolt that thing though. Oh, I got a 2-drop still, but I can make this guy explode. They might get an artifact. If they have an artifact creature enter, they can give it. Oh, that's horrible. Well, that's not so horrible. But you know what's also not so horrible? I mean, I would really want to win commando here first, because then I can actually start, doing some damage with the explosions. I mean, they will get some counters there, but it is what it is. I need to also not only kill these guys, but also win the game. And this is one way to start pushing for some damage. Let's hope they don't get out of the... If they have the 4-mana thing, okay, that's not a 4-mana card. I mean, they have 4-mana white, I mean, the common with Unearth. That, oh, that's sweet too. You know what I mean. The thing that enters with it's a 3/1 that enters with a 1/1 artifact token. That would be horrible. Anyhow, let's hope they don't have a giant growth. That would be bad. Okay, no giant growth there. By the way, this is an artificer, of course, not a soldier, so they couldn't equip this thing. But now that I get to attack for 3 in the air, that's pretty nice. So, any artifacts for you? That's artifact synergy, but it's not. Okay, this seems pretty good now. I could curate, and then if I don't find a land, I wouldn't mind maybe 1 land here. Then I can use the bolts here. Explosion can even go to their head actually. So let's start with this. Trigger some power stuff. I actually take them both. Yep, because I can make that thing into a 6/6. So let's get more prowess triggers, and this is now I'm dealing with 7 damage. It might still have been correct to play the bolt now just to aim this explosion to their head, but I'm gonna have a hasty guy on the next turn if I so wish. I might also just play the 6/6 though. But yeah, they are actually out of stuff. They have all the artifact synergy. That's the issue. I mean, you need to have both artifacts and the synergy. So I could have a hasty flyer at 3/3. Do I have a win here, by the way? I don't think I have quite the win here, but I guess I'll just attack for 2 in the air now, play this exemplar. Although I could. Oh, this is only a 2/2. So actually, what I should do is I should do it like this. And then bolt that 3/3, because then I can also attack with the 4th chanter. I actually drew like all my removal. I guess I have the 5 mana removal spell still, but that was sick. That was sick. Yeah, there's no way they can top deck anything. I mean, unless it's like a crazy bomb that they would top deck. But yeah, this is the reason you pick these explosions, and of course the bolt. You know, just they had potentially very good start here, but I was able to destroy basically everything. So raise to the ground, well, is going to have targets because they are playing all these cards that care about artifacts entering. Now, I'm gonna play one of these. But what is the card? It might be Whirling Strike. I still like it with all my prowess though. I don't think I need more 2-drops here, even though they had a green, white. I don't actually know. Maybe the Adept is bad. Maybe the Heavyweight Demolisher is a little bit. I mean, green-white should be somewhat aggressive. But this is a very nice big hitter. 8/6 Menace. It is no joke, and it does have Unearth too. Which is 8 mana, but you know, assuming I have Powerstones, it's not really that hard. Huh. Yeah, I do like to have one of these raised to the grounds here, but I do absolutely need to cut now a card. I don't want to cut anything. Even the Whirling Strike is... maybe not that. I'm gonna cut that. It is the next card to go, I think. Okay, with Curate, I should keep this. I'm on the draw. I find my 3rd land and then I can cast a Stern Lesson. I have nothing that affects the board, but I don't really see how could I mulligan this hand. Do they have one of the 1/1s? Yes, they do. Oh, there's a bolt, but no mountain for it yet. But I get to dig 3 cards deep. I think anything that's not a mountain will be... Maybe I will want to have it. Okay, because of the Stern Lesson, I will take an island if there's no mountain. But any known land is most likely going to go away. Wow, they do have all the cards that trigger from artifacts. Let's see if I can... Yeah, well, I mean, I can take those, and it starts. They might have, you know, the way that the card that actually protects them, you know, the white card. The what's this indestructible hexproof thing? They didn't have it though. They have a power blade. They get to trigger this thing. They might get some extra cards and some selection too, but let's see first. I kinda don't want to just kill this and do nothing else, so I'm gonna get me a Powerstone token so I can play the Avenger. And this is what I mean by the Powerstones. These 6 mana artifacts are very cheap when you have these Powerstones around. They are gonna equip. No, they have. So, did they draw the 2 or do they actually have more than that? Oh, they are attacking. Wow, I'm taking this trade any day. That's amazing actually. I didn't expect them to do that. And I don't think I'm gonna let this guy generate any value to them. I can also, you know, play the Zephyrus Sentinel here. I guess I could have played it and blocked it because I have the supply drop, but I don't know. Okay, with land that means I can haste up this guy. It will be 4/4 haste. Everything seems fine. If this starts to annoy me, I can kill it with the race to the ground. Okay, that is not a good card. That is way too low impact. Yeah, I mean this Power Blade is okay. +2/+0 is definitely different than +1/+0. Okay, they are I guess I'm not gonna kill any more of their stuff. Although I can kill the Bonesaw and draw a card if I prefer that. But I don't think it's really even... I'm gonna Stern Lesson first. Exactly with this mana. Okay, bye bye island. And then do I wanna draw a card? I'm dealing 7 damage to them. I mean, I could kill the Bonesaw and draw a card if I really want to. But I don't think it missed. I mean, I have a winning board here anyway, so I'm gonna save it. If they drop an actual artifact creature, although they will then might have a Swiftfoot Boots on it. But regardless of that, I am not gonna do that. And I didn't keep this Vigilance because I wanted to deal 7 and not 6. So Perimeter Patrol, they can haste it up. Refractor gives them, you know, ability to fly. Not gonna care about that. I am winning the race, of course. They don't have Vigilance on their guys, so they can't attack with both anyway, because I just have a lethal here. They don't attack with anything. So. Yeah, those guys don't actually fly. There's a... I mean, no, they have hexproof haste and all that, so all I need to do is make this guy fly and win with the supply drop. 2 blockers, and now supply drop this guy. Oh, that was fairly easy. But yeah, the boots and the Bonesaw are probably cards that are not that amazing. I know they had to play, probably given the cards in their deck, you know, a lot of things that care about artifacts entering. They needed to play a bunch of artifacts, but they maybe wanted to play some a bit higher impact ones, like artifact creatures. Okay, that's a weird one, but I guess the Curate is gonna find me something to play on turn 3. I might have to keep a mountain also if I see, but at least I'm having progress towards this thing because the unit is gonna help me. Okay, I'm keeping both of these and hoping that Ursa will dig me to a mountain if I don't naturally draw one. This thing eats my unearthed guys, so I think I'm gonna try to get the 7 mana cast from it anyway, because I'm actually 5. I have 5 of those 8 already. Now, I'm not blocking here. I would maybe not mind it otherwise, but I need to loot now to actually, you know, to find my stuff. Alright, so that is, I think, if if I loot... Well, this has vigilance, so let's first attack. But I think I'm gonna retrieval unit, and I can then block the harvester with that. I don't have mana to loot, but then again I will have a Powerstone token, and I can use that for looting. And of course I can discard the supply drop to create another Powerstone token, so I'm very close to the heavyweight demolisher. Okay, so they have all the colors available. That's black, green, blue, swamp, forest, island. So this is some kind of a soul tie deck, maybe. They can animate that thing. It's something I can deal with the whirling strike, I guess. Okay, well there is the mountain. I mean, I can have the supply drop too. Huh. Well, will I? So I actually have mana for the explosion and the supply drop. So let's actually kill this thing. And then I can maybe think about using the supply drop. Yeah, let's do it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I lose the retrieval unit on some removal, just a 2-3, which already created some value for me, and then I still get to keep the supply drop and draw a card from it at some point. Or then this happens and I actually get rid of that guy. Hey, I'm gonna get my demolisher here. That doesn't have haste or anything. I will have the mana for that. I do want to start looting, but I'm gonna take the second mountain because of the unearth here. So I'm gonna just play the land and probably not gonna loot here. I can attack with both because the vigilance makes it a free attack. I'm not gonna use the whirling strike. It is actually tempting, but then I couldn't cast the demolisher. I suppose I could draw a card. I mean, this is gonna give them 2 lands. Actually, I kinda like the idea, but this is such a nice one, and also with it, I'm gonna do the whirling strike. Sorry, the big guy thing here. I mean, that is very nice. Now any other lands I will draw will loot away. I don't need any more lands here. This requires, by the way, 3 mana to keep it in action, but I can do that. Hey, don't shoot it down. That is unnecessary. Well, that's that. I have an active looter, so any... Okay, they can attack for 3 here. I don't care. Now they are already at 6 lands, so maybe the Burnished Heart can do its thing. Oh, I don't have to pay 3 in the upkeep now. A retrieval unit, huh? This is 4, this is 4. I can't do both. Well, I'll play more creatures then. I'm not willing to loot away the whirling strike. Now you can, of course you can loot. Wait a minute, I somehow miscalculated it. Yeah, I had the 8 mana, damn it. I was supposed to of course draw first, and then I might draw something better. That was my bad. I'm not gonna draw now because they might have, the discard card, so I'm gonna draw at the end of. And I might actually need the whirling strike for some reason. There's no point drawing the card when I will be tapped out after that. Battery bearer. Okay, so they have all the mana they need. I don't care about them sacking this guy. Well, that was a convenient draw, wasn't it? Hey, this is a convenient draw too. So, I kind of want to use the whirling strike, but let's just start with this because this is less risky. They have no. I mean, if they counter this somehow, then they counter it somehow. That's exiled now. Okay, so I'm gonna of course now use the looting. Discard. either the Whirling Strike or the card I'm gonna draw, because this will become a 4/4. Now I'm thinking about if I should prepare for some combat shenanigans. I guess I'm not gonna use the Whirling Strike no matter what, so I'll just do this thing. Now they might even block and sack a 2/3, so the Ur's attack actually makes sense now. This kind of feels like they have the 10/10 trample coming up. I could actually use this because it will give trample and I would be able to deal 4, 6, 7, but that's not enough. So I'm afraid they have the 10/10 trample, but I mean I have multiple creatures. They can only block one with that thing. I'm gonna wait until... No, if I want to get the counter on this thing I need to do this right away. Alright, let's do it. Well, I mean, I guess this is more valuable, this Whirling Strike here. So if they have a land drop, they can pay a 10 mana for a 10/10. Or they can have that, which is actually not so bad because I have the Latinum Adept in here. They might think they are going to be able to trade with it. Oh, this would have been better just before that. Okay, well, I mean, it is still fine if they don't have an interaction to this thing. They think they get to trade. Hopefully that's not the case. But yeah, they wouldn't have gained any life if I had seen them over there. But I guess if they have more, then the life gain is negated. But if they have the 10/10, they got 7 lives, so I'm no longer able to attack past that thing. Haha, now no life gain for you. That is crazy. Weak stone subjugation, I don't like that. But I like the flyer. Sadly I don't have any. There's no soldier in here, so... I guess I'm gonna still loot here, I guess. Although, I'm sure I'm gonna do this thing anyway. I mean, you should always loot, but... Okay, fine, let's loot. It could be something better, it's possible. Okay. Oh, they can actually say Ursa to that. No, this is not the... I thought it was the... You know, the... I thought it was the Phyrexian Revoker. It's not that thing. So now I will get life loss every time they draw a card. This is not good. This is actually bad now. This is very bad now because... Oh, why am I this stupid? I actually thought that it only returns soldiers. I am the stupidest guy there is. This was such a mistake. I would have been able to play this on the previous turn. I mean, that's just my bad. That is really just my bad. I don't know why I'm such a fool, because I had the mana to, you know, play it and... there's no excuse. I was just playing badly. I didn't know what my cards do. This can always return. It only gets a counter if you have a soldier to return. So if I want to get the counter on it, and I do want to, I'll do this. Oh, that's actually tough because I really want to have the flyer, but Stern Lesson is gonna... Yeah, I'm actually gonna do this. Because I think Stern Lesson is gonna be a little bit better. I can also get the counter on their turn with it. I'm not decking yet, so I can keep looting. But this thing is a clock. It's also a very small creature, so I'm not too worried about it otherwise. I have good blocks on the golem here. They have the Stern Lesson as well. Oh, but that's gonna make me lose more life. Darn. Yeah, I mean that was a mistake. I hope it's not a game-winning mistake. Or game-losing mistake, rather. Because I could have done, you know, main phased this thing and then replay the Adept, and I even looted that turn, so I could have actually gotten... This would be a 5/5 now. So they discarded a Coastal Bulwark and they get... Okay, they really go with the card draw to make the crawler finish me off, which is, you know, a strategy they can really go for here. I think I'm gonna make this into a 7/7 before I attack into the golem. Although, if I get to trade with the golem, that also means I can start attacking with the other stuff I have going on here. Let's do this Powerstone, the loot first. Let's see what I draw. Just a land, okay. I could haste this up, but no, because I mean I could discard and deal 2 in the air, but I don't feel like it. I'm gonna play just... No, I'm not gonna play anything now. So this is gonna be a 6-6 when I play the Stern Lesson on their turn. And then on my turn I can loot to make it a 7-7, and then they can't trade with that thing. So I guess it's maybe worth it. Maybe. I do have another flyer now, that is very nice. So I'm not decking, I'm actually losing to this crawler before decking out. I think I have still removal. I have 1 excavation, explosion, and I guess the 5 mana removal. Oh, they have another one of those. Well, that's a shame. I guess I should have I guess I should have traded. Although if I traded, then they would be able to lock down one of my flyers. So it's not so bad. I don't have any counter spell to deal with that, so I didn't want to do it. Oh, come on, opponent, what are you doing? Well, I guess they have to sacrifice a relevant creature here, but... Because the crawler is... Oh, they actually don't want to sack anything, but they do have a reach guy now, which will gain them life. So I might actually lose to the crawler triggers now. So they're splashing for these subjugations. Wow. That's a lot of lands, which I don't need. There is an Unleash shell. This doesn't exile. Now, I could deal with this guy, but I'd just rather deal with that guy. So that I can attack with my 4-3 at least. Let's first do this though. I'm not decking. Okay, Avenger is gonna be good. So do I have mana for all of this? I don't think I have mana for all of this. That's 9 mana. This cost 11. So if I do this thing, I can attack for 4 in the air. If I kill this thing, I mean the problem is they still have the spider, which will be able to block the 2-3s, for instance. So I can haste this guy up. I can attack 4 in the air, for example, if I want to. That might be what I want to do first. Not use the shell quite yet. Oh, I can... that was wrong. I can't attack 4 in the air. I can't do that, because it will be a 3-3 if I both give it haste and flying. So maybe in the end I will give it haste and death touch. I mean, now that I went for the play, I need to use it somehow. I can trade with the golem, and then I can use the shell on the spider, but this was definitely wrong. I should have used the shell on this turn. And now they get 4 life when this dies. This is tough. I also need to leave blockers for the crawler here. I might actually have to use the Urza on their turn just to have the 1-3 to block with. Okay, so they have that, but it doesn't still gain any life, but it doesn't really help me much either. They are still going to... I mean, I might have to kill the crawler. That is so sad though. I kill it. I know I have 1 more excavation explosion here though, but I'm dying to these triggers. This is such a crazy situation. I mean, I have to... I'm gonna do this now. And I'm going to attack with... I mean, I could attack with, you know, everything. For instance, that does force a block with the crawler, doesn't it? If that forces a block with the crawler, because they block the... This has trample actually. So let's say they eat a Severe Sentinel, then they take 60. Now that is... They are forced to block with the crawler. But the problem is, if they block the Ursa... I want to have a blocker. I need to have a blocker here. So if they block the Ursa, I lose my blocker, it's my only vigilance creature. But then they die, because then they take the trample here. Yeah, they can't block the Ursa. So I'm gonna actually attack with everything. Because I do have a lot more creatures, I will force the block with the crawler. Okay, I'm happy that they do the trade here. On the 4-3. They gain 4 life, but that is what it is. I get to keep looting and find my other answers. Oh, they actually, yeah, they actually do get the life, because I forgot that the Cindemoy is here, but I wasn't gonna not attack with it. No reason to loot right now, I guess, because can't they go exactly to one? I won't have any. Well, I guess I can have an artifact creature. But the thing is, can they have a haster? There's no unearth here. Do I need a blocker? I mean, they might have like an Argivan Avenger of their own, which can fly with haste, but then it's only 3 damage. I'm gonna actually play around a haste card. It's quite unlikely that I would draw a card I can cast with just these Powerstones. Okay, they had nothing. Alright, well that was an interesting game, I guess. But also showed the value of the looting here. I was able to dig into the important stuff and start ditching my lands. Alright, so they are black, green and blue, and I think it's black, green that is splashing for like, I don't know, weak stones, subjugation, stern lesson. Well, it doesn't matter, but they have the boulder branch columns here, and they have the annoying spider, so you know what, scatter ray is an easy inclusion, and this also is actually fine. What is the spider's wedding? It's here in exile. So when this enters the battle, you may sacrifice. Okay, so they have to sacrifice. Then there goes a trigger to stack. When you do, destroy target non-land permanent, and that is actually possible to, they sack a creature and then I counter the trigger. And of course the boulder branch columns are just, counterable because this counters artifact spells. They also had the removal spells, which are enchantments. So I think I'm going to play both the counter spells. And that means I'm going to have to lose something like a curate here. And maybe, what is the least useful thing here? I think all of these are quite useful. Well, I'm going to have to lose something. It's maybe the Whirling Strike in the end. Yeah. I like the supply drop actually a little bit more. Let's do this. A couple of counter spells to counter their big impact things. Okay, I'm having a very nice hand here. Pretty ideal. 3 lands, both colors, 2-drop, 3-drop, and even a removal spell if they have something nasty. This has would pay 2 life, so that's not completely free to get rid of by targeted removal. Lantern, alright. Let's get my life gain. Oh, I actually played the wrong land there. I should have played the island. Because I am 3 islands and 1 Powerstone tokens, 2 exemplar being a 6/6. Because if I draw 1 island, then I have 4 islands and the unit. Yeah, that's it. But they are not playing anything. They have 5 mana, so they're gonna have like exile the Cindemoy or something like that. There's gonna be something. There's nothing. So I actually could have now 1 mountain and 3 islands here. And I could have a steel exemplar happening as a 6/6 on the next turn if I played the correct land on a turn 3. Reminder not to autopilot. Because now I can only have 1... Yeah, I can only have 4 mana satisfied with this requirement. But I might use their obliterating bolt here and might not be the end of the world. They have a 7 mana, but they won't gain life from their 6/5. Sadly, it will still be good enough to block my stuff, so I'm not happy. Not happy if they have the 6/5 now. What did they discard, by the way? Just a land. Okay, Mightstone's animation, that I can at least, get rid of. Bulwark is a little annoying. But Wing Commando is good, so let's do the Wing Commando here. And guess I'm gonna get rid of this guy. I'm just not sure if I want to actually, you know, attack with the Cinder here. Because they're gonna gain 7 life from the thing. But this thing is surveils. Okay, fine. At least I get to... Actually, I'm gonna attack with the unit too. They can eat it for free and take 6. I believe they're gonna block the Cindermo if they have the life gainer in hand, and I don't mind if I lose the unit. But this was actually fine. The unit did its thing. I wouldn't mind having one of my counter spells now that I sidebodied them in. Although I wouldn't be able to leave mana up for them if I want this to be a 6-6, because I'm gonna tap all 4 islands. They did lose their mana because I killed this thing, the Powerstone, so they don't have access to 7 mana currently. But I believe I prefer them to actually have, you know, I prefer them to have lands in hand than 4 spells. Alright, so I will trade away the Cindermo, I believe. Then this has a bigger chance to go through. Now they might gain the life, but I mean it's just I want to make space for the Exemplar. And then I can start ditching my extra lands now. Now this is actually a sizable body, but the problem is they play the 6-5 and go to 12. Sorry, 11. If they have a land drop. They don't, but they have an answer to that thing. I guess it was also an answer for the wing commando, so they can't... Oh. Scrap that. Well, they are down to this being a 3-3. I don't think they're gonna attack. Another commando and the orders. Well, that was a fine draw, because now I can still threaten some damage in the air. But of course, if they get one of the 6-5s, that's gonna give them... Yeah, they go to 11. That's a long way to beat them from that amount of... But maybe they don't... Oh, that's the opposite side, that they actually lose life there. Well, they need to find their stuff. It would be hilarious if they actually are 1 land away from the 6-5s, because they have been stuck at this land count for many turns now. They just haven't drawn it. Now they need another answer to my flyer, or I'm going to win with a non-creature spell. Okay, well there was a land, but now any non-creature and I will be... Oh, I don't win immediately. Okay, this is interesting now. Because I might draw a card I'd rather keep than the Latinum Adept. So I'm actually going to loot first. I know I lose this guy getting a counter, but it might be worth it. Oh, well, it's definitely worth it because I just win now. Yeah. All right. Again, a fantastic hand here. Not sure if I'm going to curate. It is a nice way to trigger the prowess on these things, but it's also annoying to miss out your play on turn 2. But I don't kinda need to curate. I don't even know if I want to have a lands or non-lands now, because I do have the Demolisher. I'm actually gonna leave it until I have the commanders on the battlefield. Now it doesn't matter which land I play here. Frontliner. Does it get a friend? I'm glad they didn't have a 2-drop, but I'm also sad they had such a good 3-drop. Well, just commando it away, and hopefully I can win with these prowess flyers. I'm gonna take some damage. I'm gonna take 5 now, actually. And then I'm hoping to... Well, let's see what's their drop. They could have a 5 drop here. It could be the 5 mana reach artifact creature with prototype. That would be annoying. Not that I like that draw much either. Okay, now it's time to do the curate here. Oh, I need my removal. These are unnecessary. I know I have the demolisher, but I don't have time for that. I will lose before that can be played. I can play the Stern Lesson now too. Okay, because I of course want to maximize my prowess. I'm taking a lot of damage here. I don't quite win on the next turn. I know I could be defensive. I could block one with a supply drop. But let's see how this goes. I'm gonna play this and they go to 10. Assuming they don't answer this, they don't gain life or anything. I play the supply drop, which makes this into a 6. I would need another. Well, I might draw. I don't know what. Let's go for the... Because if I draw a non-creature spell that is cheap enough, that would have worked. I'm gonna ditch this guy. So now I'm just gonna... I mean, I can draw one of the excavation explosions, but of course this a lot depends on if they have an answer on one of these. They are having a 2-turn clock. That is like 6, 8, this is 9 damage. I'm gonna go down to 7 if they have nothing else. And there's the life gain. It's only 3 of this time, but it is enough. Now if I draw an excavation explosion, I don't think it's enough. Or is it? Actually, it might have been enough, because it does 3 to them, they go to 10, then supply drop. Yeah, it would have been enough. It would have been exactly enough. This is sadly unearth 8, I'm at 7 now. So, 7 here, right. So I kill one of them. I kind of want to win on the next turn, but I think I need to leave a blocker of some kind. Can't cast the shell and the chanter, that's the problem. So if I use this, kill this thing, they are gonna attack for more than 7. Yeah, they had the golem that gave them life. And also the vanguard here. This is really bad. I'm so close to winning, but it's not gonna cut it. If I play this thing, I have 2 mana. I can play this and the chanter. So if I attack with both, I have 2 blockers here. I'm basically still dying. So I can't attack with more than 1. So I attack with 1. And then I will play, this won't be, you know, I can just do this and this and I really wish I had the shell available, but it's not. So if they have a pump spell, I lose. Now, of course, if they do attack with everything, they have to worry about this trampler coming through, because this will eat a 3 power creature. I'm assuming they just have nothing. Of course, I lose the pump spell. There's no reason. I was never gonna beat the pump spell here, so I don't have to worry about that possibility. But if they just all-out attack, I think I survive, and then I have a lethal counterattack because I won't lose this exemplar. Oh, there's the 7 life. Jesus, that is such an annoying. They have gained 10 life in this. Such a good card. Well, I'm no longer having a lethal counterattack. I guess I still... yeah, they can do that. So they will have only 1 blocker here if they attack. They maybe want to leave a blocker, because I can kill this 6-5 and trigger these. They go to 15, these will be dealing 6. They go to 9, this deals 2, they go to 7, this... yeah, it's not enough. It's just not enough. They just gained 6 life. That is insane. Oh well. And I am gonna have to jump block something, I believe. I mean, I don't have all my creatures survive this combat. Problem is, I'm not gonna win on the backswing. Oh, this thing has vigilance as well. So, I mean, this is 8 damage, but I mean, even this is not enough. Even if I draw a land, because it has menace, so the 1 blocker isn't enough. I can deal like 12 in the air, it doesn't matter because they just gained so much life. The sad thing is that I think it was relevant to gain the 3 life. If they only gained the 6 life and this was something else, it would be different. Anyway, can I survive? I mean, now that I can't win on the next turn, I have to win, you know, with the long game here. That's the idea. Sadly, I don't have any vigilant creatures here. I believe I do need to eat this guy and probably like trade with this thing. I don't care about the vigilant guy anymore, and then I will block. I could block, and this has unearth. Well, I have to make a block that makes me survive, so I guess I'll still block here and almost run out of time. Jeez. Oh, I didn't survive. Well. I mean, I wasn't gonna win this game anymore, so I'm not too sad about it, but had they not gained that much life, yeah, I could have blocked the 3-1 here and then go to 1 and, you know, have a, because I had still some damage coming up here. But what can you do? Boulder Branch Column is annoying enough that I can't try to counter them. And then there's also the Race to the Ground, which is, you know, good against a bunch of this stuff. Also not so great against Unearthers. Well, I'm gonna maybe not play the Curate here and maybe not play the... Oh. I guess the Demolisher is a little too slow for this, but do I want to replace with something else, like this thing which can pick the Unearthers away from the graveyard? This can also pick the Unearthers. It's not totally useless. It is a draw card effect for the Latinum Adept. It's a prowess trigger. So if I do this thing, what I'm gonna cut? Just like every card here, that's the problem. I don't wanna cut anything. Maybe the other retrieval unit isn't so good now that I removed one of my expensive things. It is after all just a 2, 3, 4, 4, so. And I won't be playing this now because I don't really think it's that good. Okay, this is it. Boulder Branch Column. I hate it. I hate it when the opponent has it. That's so much free life gain because the size is almost worth the mana you pay for it. 6 life is such an amazing one, and it even has the secondary mode of being a 3-3. Okay, I can only try here. I was so close to winning with my prowess triggers, but they just got the life there. Now this is at least a very good start here. They have a good start as well. So do I want to block that thing? Yeah, I guess I'm gonna use the wing commando here and try to trade with this guy. I don't think I can quite that aggressively trade damage here, because this is only 1 damage versus 3, so it doesn't really seem that great. Okay, nothing too dangerous. That's not nice. Now I can return it with my 2-drop flyer, and this is even a soldier, so it picks up a counter. So I have no pressure at all. I can counter their next play, but it's not great. Now I'm gonna play the land. Let's first do this and then probably counter it. Because of I'm gonna ditch this island because I might have the thing that requires only no more than 1 color of mana. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of that because I don't wanna start taking damage from a 3-drop. Sorry, 3 power creature when I don't have any way to apply damage myself. Now that is a good one. Okay, guys. I guess I have answered this. Well, I don't know. Okay, well that is really good. And I'm gonna now do it main phase because I wanna recast this guy. Okay, that was an amazing draw. Still keeping the mountain in my hand. I might draw my other Urza. No blocks. I can kill a big guy, even if they have the other Boulder Branch column, which they do, of course, gain 6 life, because that's the way, but I guess it's still fine, because I can do this. They go to 26 and then they go to 20, and I hope they don't have a third of those guys. Oh, that's totally unfair. I don't have a win anymore. Wow. Well, okay then. I don't have a... Well, that's too many lands, of course. And they can trade here. I can't take the 4 here all the time. This thing can actually be bigger because of prowess, but I don't think so. I'm gonna just do this and hope they are running out of gas. I don't like my draws at all. That is 9 lands now, and I have even discarded one of them. That's 10 lands total. They win this race. They are winning this race. I can double block that thing, but it's really annoying because I lose both of these. And they still have the 2-2. I mean, I guess I don't mind about the 2-2. I will draw any creature to deal with it. But there's not really much else to do here. Please have only lands in hand. I have 9 lands in here. You have... No. If it's not the best card that you could freaking have there, I don't even have a bounce spell in this deck. And they are gonna get to use it again. This Mask of the Jade Crafter, it is amazing card. And now I just lose, because I have all the lands. Well, it was still 2-1. I like the deck, but I don't like these kind of flooded out games. It seems like this has been a recurring theme in some of these recorded drafts I've been having. I actually have had 2 3-0s in unrecorded drafts, so I got... at some point in my draft, I don't know which it was, I said that I have had a long streak of no trophies, but I actually got a 2 3-0s in 3 drafts that I didn't record, so I'm gotten out of that place now. But this is again, the kind of stuff that you just can't win a game if you draw like this. There's nothing you can do. I even have looters in the deck. I have a stern lesson that get rid of the extra lands, but that wasn't enough help now. Alright, so that was that. I don't know if there's anything else to... Well, yes, there might be something to say about the kind of a theme I was going for. I was going for the theme after my first few picks, but it kind of dried. The idea was to have a lot of Powerstones and ways to use them. So for example, the 6-drop prototype creature that also has a 9 mana version. I would have liked to have it. It's the blue common prototype creature, 6 mana 6/6, 9 mana 9/9. I didn't see it, and I'm not sure what other kind of stuff there is as expensive artifacts. I guess I could have played the third path Savant, but it really didn't seem like I have time in these games to play this kind of card. This is clearly the worst 3 mana creature out of the options I had available here. And also this event was a testament to power of the bolt of, the life gainer golem. In this final match, the game 1, I actually had lethal in the air if they didn't, gain like 9 life in the game. Maybe the 6 was enough. But definitely I would have won if they didn't have the second gain, the gain 6 life version of the card. So it's a fun archetype, but of course requires these kind of powerful spells. I don't think the Stone Retrieval unit is quite that good. 4 mana 2/3 is bad stat line. Even a 3 mana 2/3 is bad stat line. But when you really can benefit from the Powerstone tokens, and I guess my deck can, it's an acceptable play. But yeah, I don't think it's a bad deck, but I kind of wasn't able to draft with the team in mind because the packs 2 and 3 didn't really offer much for that. But 2-1, as always, is an acceptable result. Let's take the price here, and I will see you in the next draft in a couple of days. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.